What is up everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share my answers on becoming an import-export agent. This is a question many entrepreneurs are interested in who wants to start an international business with less investment. Some of my friends and subscribers ask me, do I have to be manufacturer to export? Do I need a huge investment to do international trade? How can I become an international entrepreneur just by acting as an intermediary? And do I need to set up a company for doing import or export brokerage? If these questions keep swirling in your mind and you still haven't found answers yet, then you are in luck because this video is for you and it will help you to learn how to become an import-export agent step by step. Do you want to be an import-export broker? Come on then, take your notebook, pen, tea or coffee and keep watching. Okay my friends, when it comes to commerce, people have a tremendous imagination for finding ways to make money, and it has been in constant evolution since the past. We can understand this more clearly if we look at the latest developments in payment methods. Rather than providing people with education and development-based benefits, technology manufacturers are asking how can we provide people with ease of payment and increase their spending. It creates the impression that they are always thinking in this direction. As members of the global world, the rapidly increasing competitive environment forces us to leave the safe haven, find new markets, and ultimately focus on international markets. Since everyone who wants to trade does not have the financial means to produce, or they prefer to buy and sell the manufactured product as an alternative, and wholesalers, agents emerge. In this context, manufacturers, wholesalers, and brokers play a role in trading abroad. So keep in mind, my friends, you don't need to be a manufacturer or have a big capital to play a role in the international business world. You can start your international business journey as an export-import agent. Now let's move to the other question that you want to learn the answer to. Is it necessary to establish a company for export or import brokerage? First of all, I am curious about your thoughts. Is it that easy to export and import? Of course not. There are some technical and legal issues to gaining the title of exporter or importer. Apart from the technical part of the business, you must be a taxpayer registered with the relevant Chamber of Commerce to engage in international or domestic commercial activity. It is not possible to have a legal workplace and issue invoices without your tax number. Even if you are going to carry out an export-oriented business activity, you must fulfill the legal obligations in your country. Otherwise, you will not be able to access any documents such as movement documents, certificates of origin, declarations, permits, etc. that are subject to export, and you will not be able to take care of your goods abroad in any way. Is it the same for those who want to do import or export brokerage? Both yes and no. If you find the customer and leave the rest of the work to the company after agreeing, there is no need to establish a company. The company may pay you by deducting the taxes on the share allocated to you from the sale. The risks arising from a trade made in this way do not satisfy the agent at all. As you can understand from here, if you want to minimize your commercial risks, starting a company will be the wisest way for you. To make the subject concrete, let's look at how to set up an import-export company from scratch, step by step. Before we start, I want you to know, guys, in this section, I will talk about the planning part, not the technical aspects of establishing a company that will act as an import-export brokerage, because each country has its own specific legal obligations, and you will appreciate that I can't know all of them. But still, if you look at my videos about the countries I have prepared before, you can get some ideas. You can find the link somewhere here. Okay, my friends, I prepared some questions that you should ask yourself before starting. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, whatever you do, first you have to be curious and ask quality quality questions that carry out accurate planning for your enterprise. Ask yourself every single question that I have prepared for you here and answer them honestly. Each of your answers will enable you to make a better and more informed business plan. In this way, you will build your international entrepreneurship journey on more solid and predictable foundations. And first, we have to ask ourselves, what do I want to do? Is it export, import, both, or does it include transit trade? Why am I making this choice? When deciding what you want to do, you should proceed by considering the situation you are in. What are the factors that influence your decision? Friends' recommendation? Do you have overseas connections? Is it an opening you see in a certain area? Have you received such a request? Do you have capital and your business idea requires you to buy and sell abroad? Have you had conversations or have they made such a request from you that you can supply profitable goods to some business owners you know in the country? Do you want this just because you know a foreign language or because you graduated from related departments? What do you want and why do you want it? So, if you want to start an international trade with a low budget, what kind of import and export business can you do? I will share 5 different business options with you here. Let's get started. Option 1. Becoming an import agent. You can supply the products they need to the companies operating in the country to use in their production or distribution from abroad. Option 2. Being an import consultant. To ensure that companies operating in the country reach more profitable and quality products. You can provide external services on correspondence, negotiations, and import operations by bringing together suppliers abroad. Option 3. Providing services to your overseas connections. You can supply goods from your country to companies you know abroad, and by working as a representative of the company, you can follow the process from the order to the dispatch of the goods on behalf of the company and ensure that the goods are exported safely. You can also market their goods in your home country. Option 4. Becoming an export broker. You can do marketing by making a list of buyers in the sector you have determined abroad, and you can do the buying and selling of the goods from your contracted suppliers in your country. Option 5. Doing an export consultancy. By training yourself in the field of export, you can provide consultancy services to the companies that have not yet opened to foreign markets and want to export by ensuring become exporters. To continue our subject, I assume that you have decided to become an export or import broker. If you would like to learn about other options, please write the option you want to know in the comment section below. In future, I can also make videos about them. Let's move on to the next question. How will you do it? The decision you make here is very important. Although it is crucial to know what to do, but what will really make you successful will be how you do it rather than what you do. You will face many options in this part, and each option covers various opportunities and threats inside it. So you will be differentiated from others with your choices, and if you can make your choices accurate to yourself and your situation, you will have more chances to be successful. Now we are moving to look at these options. You can do export brokerage mainly in 3 different ways. First one, you choose a product and agree with the manufacturers you specify and supply only from these companies. If you agree with a single company, you will only bind yourself to it, and the power will be in the supplier here. Deal with multiple suppliers to strengthen your hand, show that you are not without options, and create competition among them. However, keep your number of suppliers in a reasonable number, as it will cause problems to be in contact with more than necessary suppliers. Second one, you select a product and search for a supplier based on the incoming order. This way of working is less professional than the first option, since companies do not work and communicate with you regularly. You may encounter a more hesitant attitude. They may not trust you, take you seriously, think you are doing price research, or think you are being hired by one of their competitors. And the last one, without choosing any product category, your search for suppliers in line with the demands coming from abroad. You can collect various orders through online platforms where requests are forwarded, and you can provide price quotes by contacting the relevant suppliers. I can't say that it's impossible to make sales using this method, but the first thing companies will look at is your website. If they can't find your website related to their industry, it is unlikely that they will request a product or service from you. Okay, my friends, I think you have chosen your way of doing international trade. So now you need to decide, will you run your business as a company or as an individual? You will set up a company to export or import, but that does not mean you will be known by your company's name. You can bring your own name to the fore while promoting and marketing. In other words, you can reach your potential customers using your name, not your company name. If you prefer to use your name, you will have to strive to be a name in the industry. People should recognize you when they see you at fairs, conferences, seminars, etc. Or you should come to mind when they need a product, which is a much more difficult way than the other. However, if you are successful in the sector with your name, your reliability and business level will be at an optimum level. Human a social being, and if he has trust, he prefers human to company. Now we are coming to the next choice that you have to decide, and that is, will you work with a team or alone? There is nothing as effective as team gathered around a common goal under the guidance of a good leader. You reach the goal before all your competitors and you are always one step ahead. However, managing a team is a difficult subject in itself and requires organizational and leadership skills. Having a good team is also a matter of budget. You can't employ staff just to employ staff. If the team does not consist of qualified personnel, it will be a material and moral burden on your back rather than benefiting you. Every day you can't do business. You will be losing money. If you think you can overcome all of these, set up a team now and get down to the business. If your budget allows, even if you get the help of at least a secretary, it will save you a lot of time. You just focus on your customers. Let's say you don't have enough capital to set up a team at first. In this case, you can establish a productive partnership by finding people who have the same goals, vision, and views as you, adopt the same values, and think like you. In this way, your expenses will be halved and your capital will be doubled. The important point here is to pay attention to the different abilities. If you are an expert in marketing, the partners you will find should be skilled in other missing areas so that they become a complementary team. So, can the export or import brokerage is done alone? Due to your nature, you may not be a team player in business matters. People may find it difficult to work with you, or you have to work as a solo entrepreneur for any reason. This is a natural situation. Many examples work in this way and continue their working life successfully. Do you think you can be successful in this way of working? Although you have to answer, I say to check if you have at least the following criteria: technical information about the relevant industry, technical information about foreign trade, organizational skills, people management, persuasion skill, communication skills, analytical thinking skill, foreign language, research skills, empathy skills, advanced computer programs, and productivity tools skills, your dominance of technology. Okay friends, all these questions that we answered here are the just main questions to ask yourself before starting your import-export business, and you can add more questions to make clear your business plan. And now let's focus on how to become an import-export agent. I will share 12 steps with you that you will use to start an export or import brokerage business. And first, let's consider how to make an import-export business plan. The long-term success of an enterprise started without a business plan depends entirely on luck. A person has to earn money to stand on his own feet and support his family. Such an important issue should be addressed from the very beginning, especially in establishing a foreign trade company. So our first job will be to prepare a business plan. We start the business plan with the WH questions. What will I sell? What is the value I offer to the market? Why I am going to sell this? How was the product or service selected for the market? What prompted you to choose this product? Has pricing work been done? Have logistics costs been calculated? Has profitability been calculated? Is the required capital available? Where to sell? Has market research been done? Are the target markets clear? How will I sell? What is our marketing strategy? Which marketing and distribution channels we will use? When will I sell? Does the product have a high season and low season ranges on demand? Are there seasonal, geographical, political, and legal factors affecting the demand? For example, fig export exists are allowed from the date of of publication by the AIB, so timing directly affects the effective use of resources allocated for marketing. To whom will I sell? What is the customer profile we need to reach the identified target markets? Who is our target audience? We create a marketing persona by performing STP analysis. If we know to whom we will sell, we target the right audience, and we know how and in what way we will reach our target audience. Methods to be used to create a strategy in this business plan: SWOT analysis, PST analysis, Porter's 5 power models, the 4 P's of marketing. In the light of all this information, an accurate export-import brokerage business plan and strategy consists of these steps. Step 1. Set your goals with realistic expectations and honesty. If you only think about the money you will earn in your work, it means that you don't have a goal yet. Of course, we have to earn money to survive, but getting money is possible by targeting value, not money. Focus on the benefit you will gain from the work you do. Think long-term and big. Work for value, not money. Money will be its reward, and it will come even if you don't want it, as long as you focus on your work. If you watch the speeches of successful people and examine their life stories, such as Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Jack Ma, Sergey Brin, Larry Page, and Warren Buffett, you will see that none of them put money into the focus. The only thing they care about and protect with their lives is not their money, but the values, principles, and work they offer that get them there and make the money. Also, most of these people started from scratch, and that is the untold truth about money, and it helps you to understand how to build wealth from nothing. When you start working, it is uncertain when you will go to the plus, and you will reach your success and your goals by constantly increasing your speed. If you think you will reach 10 times your starting capital in 6 months, no one can give such a guarantee. Maybe you will be very successful in 3 months, maybe in 3 years. For example, one of the successful Turkish entrepreneurs, Nevzat Aydın, did not earn money for 5 years when he founded the Yemek Sepeti. When he sold the company, he bought houses for all his employees, which is a small part of the money he earned from the sale. So your expectations should be realistic with your work and your potential. Honesty is very important in every moment of life. It is the backbone of commerce. It is impossible to regain trust if you compromise your integrity. People want to trust, and they fear it as much as they want it. If this trust is fully established, do not be afraid that your customer will go to your competitors. Even if they go, they will come back. For this, you must be first honest with yourself and determine your purpose with honesty. Step 2. Choose your product, service, or expertise. Before you create your business plan, you should naturally decide what to do. Let's say you decide to become a product export broker. Then, as I mentioned before, prepare a SWOT analysis using the PEST analysis and work on Porter's 5 power models to create the WH questions of your choice. Step 3. Plan your budget. Without a budget plan, you can neither make a promotion and marketing plan, make a travel plan, make an exhibition plan, or control your expenses. Think of your job as a marathon, not a 100-meter run. If you spend all your strength as you started, you will run out of cash before you even reach the halfway point. You will both lack the strength to continue, and all your efforts will be wasted. Prepare annual plans. Prepare at least a 2-year plan by calculating how much of your budget you will use in the first half year and how much in the second half. Use your budget in a balanced and consistent manner, trying not to go beyond your goals. If your budget and the second year cost of your plan do not overlap, try to complete your capital before starting work. Every venture you start with debt is riskier than usual. It creates stress in you, preventing you from establishing healthy decision-making and working environment. This in turn reflects on your job performance and causes unnecessary panic and frequent wrong decisions. Step 4. Set up a company. After providing sufficient capital, it is time to establish the company. The first job will be to agree with a financial advisor, that's an accountant. You will establish the company together with your accountant. You are now an official exporter company after all the transactions are completed and you fulfill the legal obligations according to your country. Get all your office consumables, software and hardware software without wasting any time and never deal with this detail over and over again. Here again, as additional information, let us state that as a company you don't necessarily have to rent an office. I also recommend you review virtual office options if it is possible in your country, since it is very flexible system where you can benefit from offices and meeting rooms when your customers come. It is the system most preferred by companies in the establishment phase. When your company starts to make a profit, you can rent a detached office and get rid of the initial office expense in this way. Step 5. Analyze your potential competitors. It is very important to know your competitors as much as you know yourself in the business world. Unless you do competitor intelligence, you can never predict where and from whom potential dangers will come. Competitive intelligence not only allows you to defend yourself, but also to make a move against your opponent when necessary. Tracking competitors give you the following benefits: to follow activities in the markets where they are active and to benefit from their know-how, to know reaching the right markets, identifying potential customers, opportunity to advertise paid in the right places, to follow the sectoral developments, to identify the shortcomings and weak points of the competitors. Step 6. Analyze your market and target audience STP analysis. No matter how wide your resources are, if you are looking for the truth in the wrong place, you will not see the benefit of the time, money, and effort you will spend. If you don't know where your customers are, you are marketing to the wrong audience, and if you don't get results, you can't sell. In this context, identifying the right target market, potential and emerging market, and the right target audience is one of the first things to be done. Here are some resources you will use to identify these markets. TradeMap, publications of relevant national and international associations and unions. Google Market Finder, Doing Business, CBI, Export Potential Map, Global Trade, FITA. With STP analysis, you can determine your target audience, and now you know where you need to market and to whom. To explain STP, that is segmentation, targeting, positioning more clearly. Segmentation, it is the target narrowing study created by subdividing the determined market by demographic, geographical, and behavioral criteria. Targeting, if you market to the appropriate audience identified in the segmentation, you will have effective marketing and sales campaign. So who you need to target, you have to decide. Positioning, how do you want to have place in the minds of your target audience? What kind of path you will follow that you will make you stand out and be preferred among your competitors? What will you highlight? Price, quality, packing, design, service, guarantee, ease, prestige, technical support. In short, where will you position your product? What will be the reason customers choose you? Step 7. Branding. If you want to achieve permanence in your industry, you need to have distinctive features that will enable you to be recognized at a glance. The brand product strengthens the product brand, and the two become one in the long run. You have done a good job if people immediately recognize your logo, name, slogan, or other defining features while browsing physical or virtual environments. Unlike the product, since the brand triggers certain emotions in the mind, it evokes the values, promises, trust, distrust, honesty, poor quality, professionalism, regret, or happiness you offer, revealing good or bad feelings. So if you want your brand to evoke good feelings, do your best to protect and promote it. As a start, you must have a logo. The person who sees this symbol will visualize everything about you. Apart from that, choose a font that you will use in your correspondence and use this font everywhere. Another element is color. Identify the colors that represent you and always stay the same. On your business cards, letterheads, all kinds of printed documents, promotional materials, website, and social media accounts, in short, exist as a whole with your brand's colors, fonts, logo, and slogan wherever you will appear in front of your audience. You can create branding not only for your product or your company, but also for yourself. As I mentioned before, will your company or you be at the forefront? It is not easy to create a personal brand, but when you become a brand, you become a person whose words is listened to, whose opinions are consulted and trusted, so that everyone will have no hesitation in working with you. You must have the charisma to become a brand. Your speaking and communication skills should be high high, you should be competent in your field and you should give confidence. You need to reinforcements to support this. For example, the speeches you make at seminars and conferences, your references and connections, educational and instructive shares, articles and interviews on social platforms will support you in this regard. Step 8. Choose your supplier. Find your suppliers before you start marketing the product you have determined. These can be domestic or foreign suppliers you choose. Let's say you are going to export nuts to Canada. If you have calculated that your supplier in India will supply the goods more advantageously in terms of price, logistics and operation, of course it makes more sense to export to Canada from India. To benefit from such situations, you can be in contact with companies from different countries. Another issue for the export brokerage is the annual agreements you will make with your suppliers. Sign a contract that respects the rights and interests of both parties to avoid future conflicts. Step 9. Pricing. As for the pricing policy, as an export brokerage company, not a producer, exporter, first decide what kind of trade you intend to do. You pay the cost of the goods by billing the product on your behalf. You put your profit and export. Or if you leave the sale of the export to the company, you add your commission, usually between 2 to 5% to the sales price of the company. Costs should be calculated very well in terms of pricing. Do not forget to add your taxes on the purchase invoice of the product when giving a price abroad. Determine the profit you will make according to this criteria, but do not ignore the price competition in your target market. If you put in too much profit, it will be very difficult to find buyers for your product. Step 10. Find customers. After passing the previous stages, it is time to find customers in your target market. There are many ways to find your customers. For example, online market research, attending trade shows, B2B bilateral meeting organizations, references, and personal contacts. You can access my video on this subject here and discover more ways how to find export buyers for your products detailedly. Step 11. Marketing. Now that we have identified who our potential customers might be, and it is time to introduce ourselves to them and promote our products. So how can we market our product most effectively? If you want to make sales and gain customers, never do single channel marketing. Your marketing strategy has to be omni-channel, because if the marketing was just to introduce the product to the customer, we would call it promotion. By marketing, you can both promote your product, enable your potential customers to find you, and express yourself much better. We can separate B2B marketing into two groups: outbound marketing and inbound marketing. Outbound marketing involves proactively reaching out to consumers to get them interested in a product. By contrast, inbound marketing centers on creating and distributing content that draws people into your website. Outbound marketing typically has a more aggressive, wide-sweeping approach, with the expectation that at least some people will convert. Inbound marketing is usually more subtle and focuses on convincing a particular group of individuals to purchase over time. Here are a few ways for doing outbound marketing or inbound marketing at a glance. For outbound marketing, you can try these things: email marketing, telemarketing, attending fairs, seminars, conferences, B2B bilateral meetings, customer visits, sending catalogs, samples, promotional products. And also for inbound marketing, you can try these things: website marketing, SEO, SEM, social media ads, social media marketing, influencer marketing, newsletters, blog posts, registering on B2B sites and business directories. You can make effective marketing to your target audience and increase your sales rates easily by making maximum use of the marketing ways you have started. An important rule of marketing is visibility. To the extent that you show yourself on as many channels as possible, you will be visible and remembered. Step 12. After sales service. Whether you are an export broker or export as a manufacturer or wholesaler, if you aim to increase customer loyalty, grow and permanence in the market, never turn your back on your customers. In a way, this is another inbound marketing method. I'm not just talking about after sales technical support, shipping or product warranty here. To ensure loyalty, you have to keep your bilateral relations warm. Be sincerely as close close to your customers as they allow, without making you feel as if you are following them with commercial concerns without getting too bored. Relationships ensure that occasional setbacks are ignored by your client. Think and act as if you are making their lives easier without thinking that you are just selling products or services. Now, so far in this video, I have shared a lot of information and ideas that shifted the way of my business in general and helped me to grow my international business. Okay, my friends, if you got to this point of the video, I would love to know how invested you are in your learning. So comment in the comment section below. Let's start international trade. So I know you got to this point in the video and that you have absorbed all the information that I have been sharing with you so far. Not to mention, one last thing that I want to share is my recommendations that will contribute to your personal and professional development. Get these tutorials: digital marketing, effective speech and behavior, coaching, consulting, customs clearance, logistics, marketing, and time management. And learn these. Another foreign language, you are already know English, right? Photo editing, video editing. Know the handshake and greeting styles of different cultures, especially the markets you work on, their sensitivities, what they consider auspicious and inauspicious and forbidden words. Specialize in something other than professional subjects. Also get hobbies, friends from different countries, and the habit of not being late. If there is still the question of where you need to invest to become a good international entrepreneur and successful import-export broker at the end of the day, the truth is that the best investment that you can make to get a lot of wealth for yourself is investing in yourself. Upskilling your skills, acquiring more knowledge. The more invaluable you are as a human being with your knowledge and with your skills, the more opportunities that are going to come to you. One of the best things that I ever did in my life was invest in myself. Whether that I was reading books and articles, watching YouTube videos like this one, going a step further by investing in courses, investing in mentors or coaches, or going to free and paid pieces of training. I have personally done all of these things, and that led me to this point. And I am not stopping. Learning does not stop after you have graduated from school. Learning does not stop after you achieved a big milestone. You have to keep going, because what you have to realize is that every single year the market will always change. Technology will change. Marketing methods will change. And if you stay stagnant, you will get left behind. A lot can change and you want to evolve with the times. You always want to open your mind to new perspectives. So that is the biggest advice that I have for you. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want to be part of my success story on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. And if you like this video, you will also like these two videos that I have right here as well. They do not disappoint you. I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.